Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6 Streaming. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Erin Hartley, of course, joined by Jarrett Lansford and Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. Big story today, the stretch of First Alert weather days is just not even just the cold.
Yeah.
It is freezing outside. Any prolonged amount of time is really going to put you actually in some serious danger.
Yeah, the wind chills are falling into that range of the 10 to 30 below. Our 10 to 30 minute window for frostbite on any exposed skin. So that's why school districts have done what they do. If a bus stalls or kids maybe have to stand at the bus stop longer because buses can't get there, you get into some dangerous situations. And that's what we have happening out there right now with temperatures that have fallen off to 9 below this morning. It feels like temperature of 27 below. That wind is pretty light out of the north at about 10 miles per hour, but again, any wind whatsoever makes it even worse. Coldest wind chills of this bout of cold that we have through Thursday, and honestly, we're considering extending this to Friday morning now. The coldest wind chills are likely going to be today. Thursday morning will end up being the coldest air temperature out of all of this, the way things are looking, which could set a record. You're likely going to see those numbers be this way for a little while, folks. And limit your time outdoors as best as you can. You'll notice 10 to 15 below to start off the day here. North of I-80, north of the Platte River in our viewing area have settled down to 9 below, but there's a northeast wind, so it's trying to bring some of these colder numbers into more of the area. And right now, on average, wind chills 25 to 35 below, but I will say consistently the worst of them have been Atlantic and I-80 to the north on the Iowa side, where you've been flirting with 40 below at times with some of the wind chills. So it's been pretty rough stretch of cold air here. And you'll notice at best this afternoon and this evening, the wind chills try to get up near 20 below. It's not going to improve a ton today as the air temperatures really struggle. On top of that, there's the clouds in place, and light snow will try to move in as well today. Very, very light. And I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about accumulation, but don't be surprised by snowflakes. Best odds of getting some of this to stick would be to the west and southwest. You can see here as we show you the snowfall potential through this afternoon. Not much, but again, western counties could get a little bit. If you got to head west today, you're going to run into snow in central Nebraska through the afternoon, evening, and into the overnight and early tomorrow morning. Again, maybe a few tenths of an inch on the Nebraska side. But you can see it really struggles to get Iowa and Missouri just because, well, the coldest air that's over here is very dry, and it's just going to keep eating away at the moisture as this tries to move in. So you can see for the high of 1 tomorrow, there could even be a few flurries floating around as well. So clouds will give way to hopefully a little bit of sunshine tomorrow afternoon, and the wind chills will be just a little bit better tomorrow. You can see probably about 5 degrees better. It's maybe on average than what we have today. If you can tell the difference good on you.
Can't tell.
But yeah, it's still going to be cold tomorrow too.
Okay, so how long do we have to endure these cold temperatures?
And that's the thing. Earlier on, I'm thinking it looked like Thursday morning was going to be the worst of it. But I tell you what, Friday morning keeps trending colder, and that's not great news. So 2 below for the high today, 1 for the high on Wednesday, 4 for the high on Thursday with some sunshine. I'm hoping maybe these can trend a little higher. We'll see how today goes. We could add a couple of degrees to Wednesday and Thursday, but Thursday morning's low is 16 below in the forecast. The record is 11 below. It's not often you get to forecast a record that crushes it by about 5 degrees. So that's what's on the way for Thursday. Now it looks like Friday morning keeps trending colder as well, down near 10 below for our low temperature. Could still have wind chills 20 to 25 below Friday morning. We'll go to 16 for the high, and then it starts to get better. Couple things to watch next week with these 40s and 50s. There's a rain chance on Wednesday. We'll see how fast the snow melts. That'll determine how warm we can get on a couple of these days. And Jarrett, you mentioned this earlier this morning too. When you melt the snow, you start to bring fog into the equation, and that could impact our temperatures a little bit too, because we just have all this moisture around after it melts. So
okay,
there you go. But better numbers.
55 Tuesday. I got it in my head.
Finally.
I know it's going to look good.
Promising news.
I know.
Okay, let's get a check in on traffic. We're hoping it'll be a better day than yesterday. So far, though, not starting off on a great note.
You know, yesterday we had so many bad crashes, not even just crashes. It was some bad crashes. So we're hoping to avoid getting to that level. We do have a crash on the interstate. Let's give you the latest on what that's kind of looking like. This is 680. We have the left 2 lanes that have been blocked as a result of this one. You can see everybody making their way over to the right-hand side as a result of that crash. It's right around Pacific that we are seeing this. So you need to stay left or stay right as you're heading through that area. Make sure you stay right. And as we look at the map, you're going to see the delays stretch quite a ways in the lead up to this. So there's where we're talking about this crash being, right about at the exit to go to Pacific as you head southbound. Near a standstill all the way back past Dodge. We zoom things out a little bit further. You're going to see that extends up to near Maple is where we're looking at things still delayed. So it's going to be quite a stretch to try to get through here until we can clear this away. If you're looking to maybe not deal with those lane closures and the subsequent delays, there's a couple of options, alternate routes. You could use 90th. You can see some people might be doing that already. We're getting some slow traffic on 90th right around Maple. 120th is another option you can use to try to go southbound and get around that area. So keep an eye on that. That's our only crash that we have at the moment. Keep an eye out for a few slick spots. It's going to be one of those kind of sneaky day after mornings where some spots are just fine as you're driving, and then you come across a few of those slick spots as you're making your way out and about. So something we'll keep an eye on this morning. You do have some travelers out there. You can see by some of the slower traffic that's on Maple, as well as some sections of Dodge this morning. Also watch for with how cold it is. We've already had a couple of vehicles that have stalled out in traffic, so that's another aspect that we'll be keeping close tabs on as our Tuesday morning commute continues. So definitely just be aware. Some extra caution is going to be a good idea, and maybe a little extra time. Dress warm too, because it's not even if you're in a crash. If you get a flat tire, you end up out in the conditions.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're ready for that.
We talk about those safety kits in the car. This is a good time to have it.
Yeah.
Blanket, water, like all those things.
Absolutely, hand warmers.
All right, Jarrett, thank you. Well, we are expecting to learn more today about the Nebraska State Patrol trooper who was killed while he was responding to a crash on I-80 between Greenwood and Ashland yesterday. A news conference for Kyle McCasey is set for 11 o'clock this morning. We're told McCasey was outside of his patrol unit when he was hit by a snowplow. The troopers immediately rushed to his aid, but the 10-year veteran of the State Patrol died at the scene. He was just 31 years old.
A 60-year-old woman is dead after a crash on West Dodge Road. This happened during the heaviest of the snowfall. We're told the woman who was in a passenger in a truck died at the scene. The driver of that truck and a 10-year-old boy were both taken to the hospital.
Well, school was supposed to be back in session for much of the metro following President's Day. However, we do have plenty of school scheduled changes to pass along to you due to the cold. Both Omaha and Council Bluffs schools will have a remote learning day today. Meanwhile, Bellevue, Millard, Elkhorn, so many schools are closed for the day. All right, now to the safety desk. I'm here with Maria Cade. Maria has the latest from the CDC on the bird flu. Many people concerned about this, Maria.
Yeah, it still is continuing to affect a lot of people, a lot of farmers too. And the CDC says, luckily, that the threat to all of us is very low. So that is some good news.
Yeah,
but like you said, a lot of people have a lot of concerns, especially with their food supply as well. There are more and more cases popping up in flocks, and you might be worried about that safety for yourself and the food supply too. So there is a newer strain of the bird flu. It's called D1.1. It is linked with 2 severe human infections in North America, and one of those people actually died. So the virus has been found in cows at least twice as well. That's this new strain, and officials believe that the cattle came into contact with the birds, and this of course is raising the risk for many dairy workers who could be exposed to it. So right now, experts say raw milk should be avoided.
We have not seen any human cases related to that, but since raw milk doesn't go through the pasteurization process, which is known to kill bacteria and viruses, there is the potential for transmission with raw milk products.
Now, of course, it's always important you want to cook your food all the way through, but experts say, right now during this time with your poultry, that's going to lower the chance, of course, of the virus spreading in any eggs or any other poultry products. Definitely do that. Cook your food. So if you have any symptoms of the bird flu, some things like eye redness or cough, those are some common symptoms. Sore throats too. The CDC says, of course, you want to go to a doctor right away, get checked out, but also let your local health department know if something does come about, if you are diagnosed, so that they can keep track of all that.
That's crucial. That part is crucial. All right, we talked about the bird flu. Now let's talk about the flu influenza. It has been a rough flu season.
Yes, the CDC actually says that this is the most intense flu season in 15 years.
I believe it.
Across the country that we have experienced. And experts say that there are some red flags that are coming about in symptoms that you want to remember, because these could actually send you to the emergency room. So the latest data shows that there have been around 13,000 deaths this year related to the virus, and that includes at least 57 kids, unfortunately, who have died. So some of those symptoms to look out for, common ones that we know: high fever, muscle aches, body pain, and headaches. But experts say some of those prolonged symptoms can be the big red flags. If you have a persistent high fever, any shortness of breath, or difficulty breathing, those could send you straight to the emergency room and you would need to get help.
And if you've had flu earlier in the season, you should still get vaccinated, because there are two different types of flu that can circulate, and having one type doesn't protect you against the other. So get vaccinated if you haven't been.
So people at the highest risk of getting influenza, of course, getting really severely sick, are seniors or elderly population, but also people with pre-existing medical conditions, anything like heart disease or lung disease, that can really have an extra effect on you.
And what he said, you could get one version of influenza and then get the second one?
Because there's influenza A, influenza B, so you got to be careful.
So careful. All right, Maria, thank you as always. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back on this Tuesday morning. Time now 7:14. Taking a live look outside across the downtown metro area. Of course, snow still well on the ground this morning, but the really story of today is the freezing, frigid temperatures. Anything that's going to be longer than 30 minutes with unexposed skin could be a very dangerous situation, Rusty.
That's the problem with temperatures like this, and we got back-to-back days to worry about this, with temperatures that likely don't really bottom out until sometime into Thursday morning, the way it looks with the coldest numbers. This is a look at the first alert weather days, but I put the low temperatures on it now. There's some good news. We've only dipped to 9 below in the metro. We had 12 below in the forecast, so a little bit better in that regard. Hopefully that means maybe we can trend up with a little bit with Wednesday, but unfortunately I think with the clear skies and the light winds, we're likely going to see temperatures dip quite a bit Thursday, down below zero. Down to 16 below zero for the morning low there. Current temperatures right now anywhere from, well, a balmy 3 below in Maryville and Falls City, down to 17 below in Carroll. So the coldest has been parked right up here to the northeast in our northeastern counties, and you can see some of the wind chills are anywhere from 25 to 35 below this morning. And again, this will probably be near the worst of the wind chills. Thursday could get close, but the wind will be a lot lighter. And it's, again, not incredibly strong right now, but 30 below wind chill on average this morning, up near 20 below at best this afternoon. Not great to be outside for long periods in this. And you'll notice the north wind no stronger than about 15 miles per hour at any one point today with the gusts. But again, when it's that cold, it does not take much at all. So some clouds around, trying to limit our sunshine. We're going to take temperatures from Near 9, 10 below this morning. Warm them to 2 below this afternoon, and there could be a few light snow showers at any point today off of this. You can see that trying to stream in from the west. Again, a lot of this will end up drying up because there's cold, dry air up here trying to fight back and eat away at whatever moisture can build in from the west. So your 10-day forecast looks like this. There could be a few snow showers even lingering early on Wednesday morning. There's a few flurries out there. Nothing all that bad, though. And you can see possibly some clearing into the afternoon. The problem is you clear out and you warm up a little bit, and that could produce some more clouds by Wednesday afternoon. But then there's the clear sky that we get heading into Thursday with 4 degrees for the high, 16 below for the low. That would break a record, 16 below by a good 5 degrees. There, 11 below is the record set way back about 100 plus years ago. And then at least some signs of a little better weather there by the end of the week and into the weekend.
Yes, we could easily get bummed out seeing these temperatures, but you mentioned better weather is on the way eventually.
Yeah, I mean, there's 40s and 50s next week. Those are still hanging on. Maybe a little rain potential cut into it on Wednesday, but still Tuesday's looking really good, and if we melt off at a pretty good pace here this weekend, that means there's more opportunity for these numbers to warm up even more next week. It could be phenomenal next week. The potential's there. You see all the colder air getting pressed out of the area. Longer term outlook into early March, not looking all that bad either. Warmer than average weather trying to take hold, and average by early March is right around 40 degrees. So things are looking up after we get through this stretch.
We need something promising.
Yeah,
we need something to look forward to.
It looks a lot better, and it'll melt things, thaw things, and just might be a little muddy.
We were just kind of talking about some of the illnesses going around. I think there's going to be a lot of spring fever happening next week.
Yeah, I already got it.
Wow. Okay. Nice. All right. You got a couple of different things to talk about this morning. Let's start with that crash that you've been following.
Yeah, it's 680, and we're still looking at lane closures being in place, some slow travel in that area. Let's give you the quad box view of what's going on in that crash in the upper left-hand corner with what we've got, and you can see that we're still seeing that blocked off. I do think we're getting close to getting that opening back up. I'll give you first alert when that does happen, but still want to stay right as you're heading through this and be ready for plenty of delays. Also, you can kind of see when we go back to the 4-box view here that we are still looking at some slick spots here and there. Something to keep an eye out for as you're heading out and about. Drive with some caution as you go about your Tuesday morning commute. The delays from that crash, though, with the lane closures still there, do stretch all the way back past. We zoom out even a little further. The worst of it goes past Dodge, but you could see some delays that almost go to Maple at this point. So if you're looking for an alternate route, you can use 90th southbound as an alternate route. You could use 120th as well, a little bit slow on 120th. One more crash I want to get to real quick here. This just happened 114th and State Street. You've got some delays that are showing up in this area as a result of this. So it's a morning to have that extra caution, watch for any kind of issues that you come about, and we'll continue to follow it along as the morning goes on too.
All right, Jared, thank you so much. Also, if today is your normal day for garbage pickup, you'll want to put your container out tomorrow instead.
Yeah, Mayor Gene Stothert says the current collections are delayed at least a day starting today. The same thing goes for Council Bluffs and Papillion sanitation customers. A good reminder, don't place the bins on snowdrifts that could cause you to miss out on having that trash picked up. And the city of Council Bluffs has declared today a snow emergency that goes into effect, remains there until 7. Until then, there's no parking allowed on streets posted as emergency snow routes. These routes are designated with a blue emergency snow route sign.
And a reminder, as we brave this cold winter weather on this First Alert 6 weather day, the Salvation Army has 2 warming centers open this week. The Kroc Center at 28th and Y, it's open today through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Heritage Place at 36th and Cumming will open today through Friday from 9 to 4.
Happening today, ballots for the Bennington bond election will be mailed out to voters. All ballots must be dropped off no later than 5 p.m. March 11th. The bond is worth $112 million. If passed, the school will use the money to build a second high school. It would open in time for the 2028-29 school year. We have a full list of drop boxes you can place in your ballot in our website at firstalert6.com.
All right, stay with us. Big honors for First Alert 6 reporter.
Yeah, the new recognition from for a living legend when we come back. All right, a huge congrats to our First Load 6 investigative reporter, our Mike McKnight.
Yeah, he will soon be inducted into the Nebraska Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame. Mike joined WOWT back in 1977, and he has been holding the powerful accountable and protecting your money ever since. Mike will be inducted in mid-August, along with 4 others. Omaha radio legend Dave Wingert, Dale Johnson, he's the longtime news director at Lincoln radio station KFOR, and the husband and wife team of Dennis and Kathy Brown, who helped rescue an AM radio station in Chadron in the early 1990s. We're very happy for all of those nominees, but we are super excited about Mike McKnight.
Fun little story. I used to play pickup basketball with a bunch of police officers, and they would say, people would get pulled over for speeding tickets, and then people think that, oh, that wasn't right. I'm going to call Mike McKnight. Like, he is in the lexicon of the whole city. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, he is the one to call. And I remember, I can't remember what award he was receiving, but he was receiving something. He's
a few.
He's very humble. He's very humble, and he takes what he does so seriously. And he said, you know, I just think, like, if it was my mom, I would want someone, you know, to stick up for her, and that's what he does when that's how he thinks about it.
Yeah. He's looking out for you.
It is heartwarming. Yeah,
he really deserves it.
He really does. Congratulations! Yes. All right, everybody, we're going to end on that note. That's a warm fuzzy for you. Thanks so much for joining us here on First Alert 6. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can join us here on streaming, or you can see it over the air.
All right, have a great start to your Tuesday.
Live from WOWT, this is a First Alert 6 weather starts now.
Well, good Tuesday morning to everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. A crash that Jarrett's been following for us this morning and a lot of road condition updates. We're going to check in with him right now. Oh, first alert day.
Yeah, first things first, we're going to talk about what we have going on with the temperatures out there. Down to 2 below this morning, or 2 below for the afternoon high today. 1 on Wednesday, 4 on Thursday. First alert 6 weather days, 4. Yeah, these are afternoon highs, folks. Wind chills are brutal this morning. Air temperatures anywhere from 5 to, look at that, Underwood at 13 below. Some of this cold air, northeast winds trying to push it back towards the metro, and you're noticing 25 to 35 below air temperature or wind chills right now on average, and that's where they're going to be for a good chunk of the morning. That's why we have extreme cold warning out there to start off the day. The wind chills get a little better this afternoon, but we're talking 15 to 20 below at best today. So all that happens with a high temperature of about 2 degrees below zero and a few flurries as well. Jarrett?
Keeping an eye on the situation with 680, we have a crash that has had the left 2 lanes blocked right near Pacific and all kinds of delays as a result of that one. There's what's left of it. I do expect we clear this away fairly soon, but it is going to be a while before we can work all those backups through there. It extends all the way back past Maple now. So you can use 90th, you can use 120th as your alternate routes, both of those moving along pretty well. One more crash that's in place, 114th and State Street. Some delays that are showing up in that area. Watch for a few slick spots out there this morning, something that could sneak up on people the day after a snow event. Some spots are fine on the roads, but some are not. You want to watch out for those.
Well, Jared, thanks. The Salvation Army has 2 warming centers open today. The Kroc Center at 28th and Y. They're open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And Heritage Place at 36th and Cumming is open from 9 to 4.
All right, everybody. It is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.